The next big thing that's going to happen here is going to be the mounting of the brake lines. And I have some pieces and some parts here. It's going to go with all of that. And here is what I'm talking about. What needs to happen, these front wheels spring, obviously. I can't make it spring much because I ain't big enough, but the front end is going to bounce up and down, so you can't have a solid brake line running out to here. So what you have to do instead is have a rubber line that connects from here to the frame. On my trip to the parts store the other day, I acquired such a rubber line, and here it is. And here's how it goes. It goes with a washer underneath. This is called a banjo bolt. It goes through from the top into that, into this, into that. I think that's right. Let me double check myself here. Yeah, and then this will go like this. And this needs to mount up over here on the frame somewhere. And it needs to do so in such a way that when the wheel turns, look how that goes. See that? This is going to have to be mounted someplace out here where that can turn and this part can be stable. I'll bring you over here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead and put the shock mounts back on the front of it and probably set the radiator back in place just to give me a kind of a point of reference of where everything is, to try to help figure out how to locate these brake lines. I probably won't put these on here real permanent like. Just kind of start the screws in them and let them sit here so that, like I say, I can use them to figure out how and where I want everything to sit. I went ahead and painted all this stuff up while I had it apart. I like the black and the green. I think it works out pretty well. Okay, now that won't work to there. Now let me get that radiator and sit it over here and see where the headlight nuts come to. I'm going to go ahead and set the shocks in place just so it, I'm doing all this so that I can see what I've got to work with and try and think it through. So I'll put the shocks on here too. Alright, here's what I came up with. As you know, I was looking for a place to mount my brake lines, and I got to playing around. I got a bag of old antique wrenches and stuff here, and I found something that I liked. But I was sort of hoping to have one on each side that was similar. And I went down to see my neighbor, and he had a couple of these that he let me have for $1. So that pretty much does the trick right there. The way this is going to work is that the brake line goes to that. You can turn the wheel either way, and it's stable right there. I can come out of here over to the frame and probably run inside the frame and underneath and go down the inside of the frame there with my brake line, and that'll be fine. I don't see any problem with that. Seems like it does everything it's supposed to do right there. So I'm happy with it. So there you go. Piece of cake once you get it figured out. I'll show you the other side. It's almost the same. Basically, this is a wrench, 5/8 on one end. It's an old-fashioned wrench with a big head on it, and it's got the box end on either side. So I just mounted one end right to the shock mount and the other end to the brake line. And there you go. She's all set. I'm liking that just fine. So, you know, when I come out front here and have a look at it, looks good. Looks right. I'm okay with it. Hopefully it's going to work out fine.